Prime is located at 52 McCall Street in Toronto, just south of the Art Gallery of Ontario and the Ontario College of Art and Design. We represent primarily Canadian artists, painters, photographers, ceramists, jewelers, glass artists occasionally, very exciting textile artists coming up, mixed media artists. I choose the people whose work speaks to me and that I am enthusiastic and excited about.
Contact's a festival of photography that happens in Toronto every year. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of photographs everywhere. This is the third year that we've done this show, Illuminations. This year it is actually students only from OCA and only students working in landscape and the issues around landscape and memory. So some of the students have constructed images, some are using a lot of digital work, and some are using a very straight form of photography.
This is my first contact show experience. The idea behind this piece is that I'm really interested in objects that I've kept and accumulated and that have no monetary value anymore and have no real significant importance except for the fact that they link me to places that from my past. So it was actually throwing these photographs of the objects back into their spaces. So it took a lot of shooting to just get them to fall just so. This is a totally new memory and new experience of these two things being merged.
I had been taking photographs of landscape stuff before, and while I was out, I started noticing a lot of scarring that had been done by human culture and stuff, and so I was sort of inspired to create this environmental apocalypse. Well, it critically responds to humans' need to sort of dominate nature and what they're doing to the environment and their sort of lack of concern for it. It's a very long process. I went out and documented a whole bunch of different things, trees, landscape, skies, and sort of created this collection. And then I started cropping them and placing them back into a landscape, reconstructing it, sort of mimicking humanity's hand of reconstructing and destroying nature. I hope that people look at this and maybe start thinking about their ways that they're living.
This show is curated by April Hickox. The Prime Gallery invited April to guest curate this show, so she got me into contact with Prime Gallery. So my basic concept alludes to those notion of harmony in Eastern philosophy with human beings, with human and nature. So I was mainly working with the relationship between human and nature, and how I worked through was I dressed them in the same colors so like they can harmonize into, like they can blend it into a background. I didn't want them to be like camouflage thing, but you would sort of like they could still have relationship.
Typically, I like to stay in the range of nature, and for the past 2 years I've been photographing a lot of tree portraits and landscapes, but I decided to take it into a little bit more of an imaginary setting, so I brought the trees and the tree figurines into my own personal setting. The story behind the trees being almost a facetious joke was because somebody had said, when are you going to give up this tree business? When are you going to give up photographing trees? Nobody really wants to see that anymore. Get over it. And I said, no, I don't think I'll get over it. I was sitting on the patio with friends, and I'm like, you know what, I should just photograph tree figurines, yeah, and do that all year. So it did start off as a joke, but it ended up turning and transforming into something completely more substantial for me.